No. Are you black? No, you're not the color of your sunglasses. So if we're not black, let's find out who we really are according to the Bible, thus saith the Lord.
Hey, what's going on, family? Y'all know your nationality?
Bring it out, and it reads, cry aloud, spare none, lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
That's right, we're not in the library, we're not gonna whisper, alright? We're not.
Chapter 22, verse 32. I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living.
Hey, the dead can be our people as well, right? Everybody know about Ezekiel 37.
We got Deuteronomy 20 and 68. Y'all believe in the Bible, right? All praise to the Most High.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Are y'all familiar with what Moses is? Okay, you know what color he was? Black? Roger, you sure? Yeah, be confident. We're going to show you. That's okay. We're going to show you. We're going to Exodus. It's at the 3rd chapter.
Either black or
4 and 6. You said verse 5. You said what?
Either black or a person with another.
All right. Let's find out.
In the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 5. And he said, draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thus standest is holy ground.
Right? Go ahead.
Moreover, he said, I am the Lord of thy father,
This is the Lord speaking to Moses. Let's continue.
the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Right, now you have to understand there was more people on the scene besides Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob when they was alive. But yet he specifically said, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is important. Continue on with this lesson. Go ahead.
And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people.
Who is his people? You know who God shows the people are? You can hold that. Go to Deuteronomy 7 and 7. It's like the 7 and 6. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Who is the Most High's chosen people? Do you think the Chinese man is the chosen people? What about the Arab man? What about the East Indian man? You said no for a reason, right?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right, if I'm not mistaken, hey, Deuteronomy is the second book, right? So who was the law given to the Israelites? So who he's speaking to is the Israelites. He said, you are a special people, a chosen people, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. If I say you're the best at hooping above all people upon the face of the earth, right? Or your people are the best at basketball upon all people on the face of the earth, who does that sound like? You're the best, and what are people that's not the best? You said what?
That's not.
Right, and what you call it? You got the best, and then you got the trash, right? You said it out your own mouth, right? So let's read that again.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people.
So again, this is Moses, Slakia, Lord speaking to Israel. So you can go back to Exodus. We're going to get back to that later as well. Start at 6.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people,
The Israelites, let's continue.
which are in Egypt. And I have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows.
Go ahead.
And I come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
I get third chapter. Fourth.
Book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 5.
Bro,
That they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee. And the Lord said furthermore unto them, put now thine hand into thy bosom.
Right? But the Lord said, put your hand into your bosom, right? Into your chest. Go ahead.
And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Right? What color is snow? It's white, right? So he put his hand in his bosom in his shirt and took it out. It was leprous white as snow. Let's go ahead.
Verse 7. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Right? He put it back in his shirt, pulled it out, and it was as his other flesh. So what color is contrary to white? Brown, right? So when he put it back out, it was like his other flesh. What can we conclude from reading that? What is his real color? Brown. You said it, right? So his complexion is dark skin. He's brown. All right? And he's an Israelite. So let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right. This is Moses speaking to the Israelites. So you're going to go into Egypt again. You know what Egypt means? I'm going to show you according to the Bible. Bring it up. You get that while you get it.
In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 6, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
From the house of what?
From the house of bondage.
What's another word for bondage? When are people in bondage? Or what's another word? Slavery, right? Bondage and slavery, the same thing. Because what were we doing in Egypt? We shooting hoops, smoking hookahs, putting on sunglasses. Bring out Exodus 5 and 12.
Book of Exodus, chapter 5, in verse 12, and it reads, so the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt.
Right, Egypt is big. It's not just a city. Right, go ahead.
To gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hasted at them, saying, fulfill your works.
Do your damn work, right? Do your job. Go ahead.
Your daily task.
Your daily task. Continue.
As when there was straw. And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set before them, were beaten and demanded.
They were beaten and demanded, right? And they had to also fulfill their quota. Sounds like slavery, right? It was, right? So bring out Deuteronomy 20 to 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right? However, we'll continue to read the Bible. They never walked back to Egypt. Right? They didn't skip, they didn't run, they didn't crawl back to Egypt. So Moses, he's not a liar. He's speaking about a prophecy. Egypt has a special meaning. Right? another type of slavery, another type of a house of bondage. But the way you're going to get to that bondage is going to be by ship. So, which people went into slavery by ship in history? So-called African American men, right? What about the white man? Indian man, Asian man, Japanese man, Bulgarian man, Arabic man, none of them. But we did. So-called Black, Hispanics, and Americans. We literally went through slavery on ships. We went to slavery on ships. So you say you're going to go into Egypt again with ships. How'd your ancestors make here to America one last time? By ships, right? And when they came here, what were they doing? They were beaten, right? Everything we read that again, King, in Exodus 5 and 12. Everything we just read, that's exactly what happened to us in what we call America. But the Bible has a special word for it because it's placed in Egypt, because it is the house of bondage to us. Let's continue.
Book of Exodus, chapter 5, and verse 12. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt.
And that's us to this very day. We're scattered all throughout America. This modern day Egypt.
Together, stuff instead of straw.
Right? We have to work. We have to labor. Go ahead.
And the taskmasters hasted them, saying,
It's like, who do we work for? The so-called white man. Y'all got wallets. Alright? Once you get a wallet, right, you're going to carry some money in there, right? And that money's going to be green. Who's going to be on the face of that dollar bill? The white man, right? And when you pay for things, who ultimately get that money at the end of the day? The white man, right? So you have to work and you have to give them money. Go ahead.
saying, fulfill your work.
Right, once y'all get jobs, you're going to have to meet certain quotas. You're going to have to meet the deadline. Go ahead.
Your daily task.
Your daily tasks. If you don't complete your daily tasks here in America at work, they're fired. Go ahead.
As when there was straw, and the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded.
So when your ancestors was alive during the 1600s, were they beaten? Weren't they beaten? They was whipped and it was literally beaten to stubble. What we're reading is our history. We're going to prove to you that it's our history. By continuing on with Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Because again, before we get that, what we've read so far, it can't apply to any other nation but us. That's how we know it connects to us. Right? What we're reading to you is a curse. Let's continue.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 8. The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
He said you're going to go into slavery, bondage again, but the way you're going to get there is with ships.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Have y'all seen your homeland? All right, raise your hand if you haven't seen your homeland. Nobody did, right? That's right. You got it.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And which people sold us? That white man, right? And those white men had kids, and those white men had kids, down to this very day, right? Now they reap the benefits of slavery. That's why they have white privilege. Continue.
Bondmen and bondwomen.
That may seem that we have so-called liberties, because we can go to this country, we can kind of go down the street, go to vacation, right? Buy a dog, play the game. That's why these little things that Americans sprinkle into our life, they say, okay, now you're free. But that's just an illusion. Because guess what? If you want to go to the next country, what do you need? Certain paperwork credentials. Who do you have to go to? The white man. Right? Why do you need permission to go to another place? Right? That's what Can I do X, Y, Z for my family? He had to go to his oppressor first. If he would have played a video game, where he get it from? So, white man. You need first to purchase that video game. Money. Where do you get that from? You have to work for the so-called white man. You find that this modern day society, people deem to be perfectly great in the land of the free, is really bad. Slaves. What do y'all say? not going to say black because we knew our identities back then, but we don't know now, right? So let's find out.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Black people.
The children of Israel.
Negroes.
The children of Israel.
African Americans.
The children of Israel.
He said the children of Israel, right? Isn't it true that your ancestors went through everything we just read along with ours? Right. So if your ancestors went through it and they had sex and then they had babies 1,000 years later, 100 years later, you come on the scene, who would you be? What's your nationality?
You said,
What would your nationality be? If they're Israelites, what would you be? You would be an Israelite, right? In like manner, an Asian man, his great-grandfather was an Asian man, so he's Asian. Likewise with every other nation on earth. So if our ancestors are Israelites, we will be Israelites. And you can't let nobody take that away from you. This is the truth. And the truth's going to set you free. Right. Bring that up, King. Is that John 7? Just slipped my mind. 34?
7.
It just slipped my mind. Just in case.
Oh no, that's a whole other percent.
Okay. We're gonna fight. These brothers are gonna put this in.
44?
Brothers trying to find that precept on why they getting this.
Yeah.
You got it? Okay, God. Why they getting that? Bring out Deuteronomy 28 and 15. So you got a lot of curses in the scriptures, right? A whole lot. We read to you just one of many. So let's find out another one.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, and thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Again, who was cursing the city? Or who was cursing the field in history? How was he cursing the field? You said what? Were we cursing the field in history? Imagine what was your forefathers doing in the field hundreds of years ago. Where were they?
You're right, we was cursed.
How so?
Then we got put into slavery. And if I'm not mistaken, we got being in slavery for like 300 plus years. Or not that, it's just 300.
Okay, what about the 1600s? What was your forefathers doing? Was they hooping? What were they doing, King? In slavery, right? And what did our people have to do in the fields?
We had to work or we got beaten. We had to follow rules. It's that.
What did we
got
pick?
beaten. We picked kite.
That's right.
We couldn't read. We couldn't write. If we said something out of place, we got beaten. Anything that we did that they didn't like, we got beaten.
Who got the picture? Okay, all praises.
And
Right, yeah,
like,
you got it.
like when our rappers be making songs, right? I gotta get it off the mud. You know who FMB DC, right? I'll be in the field with it. That's us. In the slums and ghettos, when they say curse shall be in the city, and curse shall be in the field. When you see the city, you know the Mexicans, they out there in Southwest, Mexican town, McGraw Ave, and
Was in the field doing it.
and show the cover of the book too, so they can know what type of book this is. This is a proud devil that made a book about our oppression, about what happened. That could be your uncle right there, or your grandfather back in the day that got killed like that. That's our family members,
See that?
and they hide that away from us. So it's not. That book expensive.
How much was that book, King?
Book was like 112. It
112.
go up to like $600.
It's the reason why that's so high. If you want to hide anything from a so-called black man, you put it in the book. This is our people want to pick up the book immediately. No, you're going to be too busy picking up the weed and know how to roll it, right? Picking up the gun, locking it, or cocking it. All right, our people are quick to do that. Our people are quick to marry the heathen. Our people are quick to do all manner of sin. Last thing they do is pick up the book. But pre-adventure, even if they want to pick up the book, the so-called white man made sure to mark it up to $600, $700. So you still can't get it. So bring out Deuteronomy 28 and 16 one more time.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Right, we just proved to you I was cursed in the field. It's nothing but pictures back to back to back. It'll literally take all damn day for us to go through every picture, right, and break it down and elaborate on what's going on in it. And how are we cursing the city? Which people are living in the ghettos? Black people. You got East Indian neighbors. You got Chinese neighbors. So if you living in the ghettos, where do you think they live? The suburbs. They living in nice. You only got the ghettos in the suburbs. That's it. Ain't no in between. All right. So they're living in the suburbs where it's nice, it's quiet, no gunshots, no Keisha and Tyrone arguing with each other, no all damn night. So they're chill. They're in heaven.
Y'all see that right there? That man and that Eve right there? That white man and that white woman, that black woman, right? Did you know that was a curse in the Bible too? Of that, because that's not supposed to be the way y'all see it. There's no ebony and ivory. Lord never wanted us to mix with these nasty, wicked people. We're going to curse right here. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell in. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Basically, what that saying is, they was going to sleep with our women, and we were going to get kicked out of the house. How we get kicked out of the house? They get to Section 8. All these government assistants. Oh, you can keep Section 8, just better not be no man in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's, they got their families. We don't have our families. You feel me? And to see a man with his wife and his kids, that's rare.
That's rare.
That's as rare as a Chinese man walking with a cat and a dog. That's just as rare. You don't usually see that. Yeah. It's strange.
Chinese people.
See that? That's strange.
Chinese people.
Yeah.
That's rare. That's probably the first time that we've seen that in weeks.
Yeah.
And then you see who's in front of him. Who's in the front? Who's always in the front? Esau, the so-called white man.
But do you see his wife following him? No, she walking right beside that brother.
See that?
But that white man know that he's the head of his household, and his wife's supposed to be behind him.
See that? We're always in the back of the bus.
Yep.
They spiritually invisible, you know? So, hey, these are curses we're bringing out. So, again, I gotta ask you, I have to ask you, who is this fitting? Not black. The Israelites. If it's the Israelites, right? Hey, this is playing upon tables. I'm gonna bring out just two more little quick. Bring out verse 54.
Woo! It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 54 and verse
Chapter 28,
or 28. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
Now that brother can be your uncle, your father, it can be your best friend, or it can be your blood brother, right? He's gonna seem tender and delicate towards you, but at the end of the day, at any given second, any time, he can have an evil eye towards you. That doesn't mean like you just do this to you all day. That's could possibly, you could just do that, be, give you an evil stare, but it's a little bit more deeper than that, you understand? I'll give you an example. Who's killing each other at an alarming rate? Black people, so-called, right? Who's rapping about killing and committing adultery and sleeping with people's wives? Black people. I've heard a lot of country songs, and I don't hear that. At my so-called job, I have to listen to certain Elamite songs, East Indian songs, Arabic songs. I don't hear nothing about them killing their own people. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about I'm gonna shoot my brother. That's not happening. So that's only us, right? As you continue to read the Bible, you find out that this really fits you down to the T. But it's more than that.
And towards the wife of his bosom. and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
And look at this.
Right.
Y'all
And
see
it-
that woman and that kid? She's with her son. No father with the all that. That's prophecy right there. Salaki.
That's right. That's prophecy. What about our people? Are y'all fathers in your life? Yeah, the majority of our fathers aren't in our lives. About 90% of us. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that more than likely those brothers down there don't got the father in their life. Or the brothers down over here. You look to your left and to your right. 9 times out of 10, the so-called black man does not have a father figure in his life. That is what you call a curse. Watch the white man. Look at that nasty white man. Well, he may not be a father. I don't want to use him as an example. But 9 times out of 10, if we got our see that? That's a spirit. That's one of many. But guess what? If you remain at the Riverwalk today, you're going to find about 10 plus East Indian families united. Their entire pedigree, walking as a unit. You're going to rarely see, black families together. Hispanic families together. Because the father is so used to believing in his children. This is what you want first. You can't make this up. We didn't write this last night. We weren't weak in this. Bring out verse 47, King.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies,
Right.
which the Lord shall send against thee.
Real quick, who sold us in slavery? The white man. In verse 68, Deuteronomy 28 to 68, it said you will be sold to your enemies. The white man sold us. This is the same enemies, right, that we have to work for, right? Where the Lord is going to make us serve. Go ahead.
And hunger,
Bring it up.
and in thirst,
Right, in hunger. Where do y'all go when you're hungry? Go get something to eat, right? Where you get it from? Kitchen, restaurant. Who owns these kitchens and restaurants? White people at the end of the day, really, they own the restaurants, they own the grocery stores. So when you're hungry, you go to him. When you're thirsty, you want the Sunny, Sprite, Pepsi, Capri Sun, Gatorade, Starbucks, you go to him. Right? Continue.
and in nakedness.
And in nakedness. You want your Adidas, your Nike, your Polo, your Lacoste State, your Jordans, your Vans, your Doc Martens. You want your Hollister, your Abercrombie, your Fish. You go to the so-called white man, right? Even if you want the Ray-Bans, the Buffs, you go to the so-called white man. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
And you want your keys. You want something as little as getting your keys made, your shoes repaired, a camera, an ID, your birth certificate, social security card. You want something little as a pencil. You go to the so-called white man. That sucks. In fact, I can bet money on it. Everything you're wearing, everything we're wearing, everything he's wearing, we got from the so-called white man. And I want to make a quick point. Because you're going to have our brothers. I go to my brother. Where's he getting his materials from? The white man. He goes from the so that's why everything say made in China. He didn't make it. He could buy it from a brother. That doesn't mean he owns the entire thing. So continue on, King.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Until he have destroyed you. Who literally had it? Is that in there, brother? A yoke of iron in your book? Okay, that's okay. But who's going to show you? Huh? Hey, you said it.
That's
on
fire,
On fire. Right? We literally had shackles on our necks and on our arms. Bring out Psalms 107 and 10, King. We're going to bring it out first.
So 107 and 10.
That's right. The brother got the image for it.
Psalms.
The book of Psalms, chapter 107, verse 10. Such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, being bound in affliction and iron, because they rebelled against the words of God and condemned.
The first part, that happened to us, right? That's the main thing I want to bring out, right? We had iron on our arms and fetters of iron on our legs. And we was in the slave boats. That was literally us. You can't make that up. Because the white man said he's been brought to another land sold it to another people, lost his heritage, and had to serve his enemies, and want food, water, and drink. And also on top of that, he was put in iron shackles. Can he say all of that? Call him liars. You might slap him silly if he tells us that. Nothing but a damn lie if you can say that. You understand? So this is happening to the Israelites. Who are we? We're the Israelites, right? It's plain upon tables. If anybody got something to say to you, hey, I don't know, you're not no Israelite, you tell them, hey, what's your nationality? And they're going to give you a ridiculous response. They're going to say black. To that, you just say, not the color, but out of crayon box. Right now, if they go to African American, you say, hold up, brother. That's a country and a continent, right? And not only that, they come from two different white men. There was Africanos and Amerigo Vespucci, right? Amerigo Vespucci was an Italian explorer from Florence, right? He was a navigator and a tradesman, right? Whose name, the word America is derived. So every time you call yourself an American, you're calling yourself the name after a white man. More than likely, you already got his last name. I'm not wrong. I put money on it. What's your last name? Don't mind me asking. Jackson. See that? What's yours, King? Huh? Hill. That's my cousin. You said what?
H-A-L-E.
Oh, H-A-L-E. All right, see that? What's a white man's last name? Cole Jefferson Dukes.
Frame.
Huh?
Frame.
Armstrong. Johnson. Wood. Johnson. Sure, King. Green. Yeah, Jackson. Washington. Sure, King. Who else said Jackson?
I said Jackson right there.
Jackson? What's your last name? See that? You can't make that stuff up. Hey, a so-called white man probably had your forefather, his forefathers in the same plantation. More than likely. Hey, that's crazy. These are the curses we're bringing out to you. And again, the curse is a bad thing. You like hearing these things? Is it making you feel good knowing you people went through such terrible things? No. Why did it happen to us? Okay, that's okay. Hey, the scriptures tell us what happened to us. I'm going to bring it out. Bring out 47 again.
Psalms 107 and verse 11.
Deuteronomy 28 and 47. Matter of fact, bring out Daniel 9 and 11. That's what. Daniel 9 and 11 first.
Book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11. It reads, hey, all Israel.
All who?
All Israel.
All Israel.
Have transgressed thy law,
We all transgressed the law of the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us.
What did he say?
The curse is poured upon us.
What we read to you earlier were curses, and they're poured upon us, right? There's no difference between just splashing water on it, right? That's what the Lord did. You got a bucket of curses, you just splashed it on it, and you're going through it. Go ahead.
That they may not, it's like, obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and an oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
We have what?
We have sinned against him.
And we have sinned against the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
And he hath confirmed his word, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
A what?
A great evil.
A slavery, butt-breaking, yokes of iron, working for the so-called white man, picking cotton in 100-degree weather with a pint of water. That's a great evil. Go ahead.
For under the whole heaven have not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem.
And what do people say the worst thing that happened in history is? Well, besides, usually they say Holocaust.
Yeah, Holocaust.
Yeah, they're going to say the Holocaust was the worst thing ever. They got about 10, they got a museum in every country, in every state rather, about the damn Holocaust.
They only say that because they got the same complexion as white man.
Exactly. right?
But then again, if you think about it, in slavery, black people have more casualties.
Yeah, you said it.
They just going off because of their skin color.
Exactly. They even went as far as to say over what 12. They gave an astronomical number, a ridiculous number of the Jewish man that died. They said 6 million.
Well, it was less than that.
It was like what? They had like 1,000.
It wasn't even 6 million.
It literally wasn't even 6 million Jewish people there. Huh?
I think it was like a couple 100,000.
Yeah, that's it. You have 12.5 million Israelite slaves in America. And that's only the estimate. You know, we're like the sands of the sea. You know, it could have been 15. The other sources, I read 15.
And a lot of slaves died on our way.
I was just, hey, this brother. Brother, no.
If you notice, when the brother brought it out in Deuteronomy 28 and 68, he said, no man shall buy you. If they the real Jews, why do they own? You raise up the rank. What? Say that again, please, brother.
You said what?
And what else?
This for you too, brother. Bring out Revelation 2 and 9.
Oh, you're quick on the story, the book of Revelation. Book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9, and it reads thus.
Go.
I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty.
Right, we explained to you how we're in poverty and how we're in tribulations. The Lord still understands our works and us crying out against God. Alright, go ahead.
But thou art rich.
Right, we're still rich at the end of the day in faith and spirit. We could have all killed each other. Or we really killed ourselves. Alright? And when a white man goes through it, don't he immediately kill himself? He's been going, hey, you shoot up a school, right? When we go through it, do we shoot up schools? No, we don't jump off of the tallest building in the city, and we deal with it. We muster through it. In fact, you know, our people go as far as making jokes about our problems. You know, bring it out. So we know how to deal through it and cope with it, right? To the best of our ability. You can tell you.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Right? He knows these certain people. They're saying that they're the Jews, but really aren't, but are of the synagogue of Satan. These people aren't earth. Can a Jewish man read Deuteronomy 28 and say, that's me, that's me? No. Only we can, right? That'll make us the real Jews. And prior to this information, prior to us picking up the Bible, we never called ourselves Jews. Right? We called ourselves black, African-American niggas, right? But the Jewish man called himself a Jew for years. He's claiming to be the real Jew, but he's really not, right?
And what they don't tell about in history is that the reason why they got killed off like that, Adolf Hitler didn't even think they was real Jews. He knew black people.
He's smart as hell. You need to be open.
Hey, what's going on? Have you heard, brother, have you heard about this before?
Oh, I be doing my research. I just like,
Hey, that's how it start, man. How old are you, brother?
oh, I'm 17.
Hey, that's the age. I was kind of looking into it, man. Hey, bring out Ezekiel 47 and 1. That's the age I kind of looking into it, man. You know, out in the book. Hey, Ezekiel 47 and 1. You know, I picked up a book. It was called the Zondervan. It's like the Protocols to Zion, something like that. Right, and it's going into how the Jewish people are in the world, you know, that the real Jews and everything. And I showed some of my family members, they kind of scoffed. And I said, all right. And I kept looking into it. And a few years later, you know, hey, the rest is history.
In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 47 and verse 1. Afterward, he brought me again unto the door of the house, and behold, waters issued out from under the threshold.
Right, so waters in the Bible are not only waters in physical degree, to the physical level, right? Waters is also symbolic for wisdom. You understand? Let's continue.
Reading on. the threshold of the house eastward. For the forefront of the house stood toward the east.
Right?
And the waters came down from under the right side of the house at the south side of the altar.
Continue.
Then brought he me out of the way of the gate northward, and led me about the way without unto the other gate, by the way that looketh eastward. And behold, there ran out waters on the right side. And when the man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits. And he brought me through the waters. The waters were to the ankles.
Right, so we're getting to the point. The waters start coming down. The Most High is not about to drown Ezekiel. I mean, he has the title of the Son of God. That's his other title, right? The Most High is not just going to strangle him with water. This water represents the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He started it up from his ankle. See?
Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters. Ezekiel 47:1. I'm at 4 now.
Right, so he's bringing them through the waters. Go ahead.
The waters were to the knees.
Now they keep going up. It keeps elevating. The water, the knowledge, and understanding keep elevating.
The water sanctuary. Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters were to the loins.
Now it's to his loins. It's right here. Go ahead.
Reading on. Afterward, he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass over, for the waters were risen, waters to swim in, a river that could not be passed over.
He had to just swim in, and that's how much knowledge he had, right? And the point of us bringing this out is as you continue to grow and eventually pick up the Bible and start reading, Most High is going to increase your waters further and further and further up, to the point where all you can do is just swim through it all. Brother had a precept, and I have one in Record 24:10.
I was asking.
Oh, okay, that's okay. All right, cool. We're going to get that next. And then Baruch 24:10. So I got a question after this first. This is Record 24:10?
After that question,
All right.
I'm finna go take him.
You said what?
I'm finna take him to get some water because he's thirsty. After this,
We got some more.
We're here to serve y'all. All praises to the Most High.
See that? Bring it up.
In the book of Sirach, chapter 24, verse 10.
Bring it up.
In the holy tabernacle I served before him, and so was I established in Zion.
Right, he's established in Zion. See?
Likewise, in the beloved city, he gave me rest, and in Jerusalem was my power. And I took root in the honorable people, in an honorable people. So I did. Even in the portion of the Lord's inheritance.
Right, we get to the point.
I was exalted like a cedar in Lebanon.
Right, a cedar is a very, very tall tree. One of the tallest. Go ahead.
And as cypress tree upon the mountains of Hermon. I was exalted like a palm tree in Edgadi,
Right,
in Gadai. And as a rose plant in Jericho.
And what makes trees and roses to grow? Water, right? Go ahead.
All right, 24:10. I'm at 14 now. No, 14. Yeah. I was exalted like a palm tree in Edgadi, and as a rose plant in Jericho, as far as a olive tree, as a fair olive tree in a pleasant field, and grew up as a plane tree by the water. I gave a sweet smell like cinnamon, and as pelotus.
I can jump down to 24.
Verse 24 to the point. Faint not to be strong in the Lord,
Right?
that he may confirm you cleave unto him,
What did it say?
cleave unto him,
Right, so all the knowledge we're bringing out, it'll move you to want to continue to cleave unto the Lord. Because everything we're bringing out, does it sound crazy? We're making this up. It's literally history in the scriptures. Go ahead. We're just linking it together.
for the Lord Almighty is God alone, and beside him there is no other Savior.
One more.
He filled all things with his wisdom.
He filled all things with his wisdom. Continue.
As Vision,
Right, as Physon. That's
Physon.
that's one of the rivers in Genesis. Go ahead.
and Tigris,
And Tigris.
in the time of the new fruits. He maketh the understanding to abound like Euphrates, and as Jordan in the time of the harvest.
So it's mentioning all these waters, right? And he's likening wisdom unto the waters that's moving and flowing. You understand? So that's the point of us bringing out Ezekiel 47. As you continue to learn, grow, pray, and read, the waters of understanding to rise up further and further. Both of you. So with that being said, why did this happen to us? Why did we go to slavery? Kind of said it already.
Yeah, you did.
That's all right. We got you. We got you. Bring out.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter
Like you. We're gonna bring yours out first. You preset. Right.
This is one of the books of the Bible.
That's right. Everything happened for a reason, as they say.
Everything do happen for a reason. And something that you might think is just the littlest thing, it's always a deeper meaning.
Bring out Proverbs 16:33. You ain't lying, right? You speak English and facts. Bring it out, King. English and facts. Proverbs
It's the book of
16:33.
Proverbs, but 16, chapter 16 and verse 30. He shut up his eye, verse 33. The lot is cast into the lap.
Right, the lot, the decision, right, was destined to happen. Is cast into our lap. It was destined for us to go through this, but what?
But the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord.
Right. Who made this lot cast? Who cast this lot into our lap? The Heavenly Father. Right. So the brother got a precept. We got
Start at
the
6. All right. In the book of the Song of the Three Holy Children, chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 6. For we have sinned and committed iniquity departing from thee. In all things have we trespassed and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us. Wherefore all that thou hast brought upon us, and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done it, thou hast done in true judgment.
That's right. So in short, the Lord gave us his punishment. For what reason? Read a lot, so let's read the first part one more time. Just the first part. Okay, first verse. Check this out. This for you too, brother in the red. You got it, King.
Verse 7, in all things we have trespassed.
We have what?
We have
To
trespassed
trespass is to go against, to go beyond, right? The perimeter. Go ahead.
and obeyed and not obeyed thy commandments.
And what?
And obeyed not thy commandments.
Right, and obeyed not thy commandments. If your father tell you a certain commandment, or a rule, if you will, or your mom tell you to do something, what are you expected to do? To do it, right? So what if you don't do it? What's gonna happen?
You being disobedient.
Right, you're being disobedient, and what?
You being disobedient, and you gonna have to face the consequences.
You're gonna have to face the consequences, right? And when we face those consequences, don't we learn through our consequences? Don't we kind of like, oh, I did that, I don't want to do that again, right? So imagine the Lord telling an entire nation without number, don't do these things, and they all just do the complete opposite. They do everything. What do you think you're going to do to us? You're not going to take his time and give everybody a spanking.
No.
There's millions of us. We're like this. The Lord can do it, but we're the sands of the sea. He has a more perfect punishment for us. And that punishment was slavery, right? Our curses that was poured upon us. Okay.
Verse 9. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies.
Right, these people, they're lawless. They tell your son that you can wear a dress. You want your son wearing a dress? Pin his fingernails, running to you, daddy, daddy, daddy. I'm mommy. You know what I'm saying? Weird stuff. Or I'm your daughter now. This is a lawless nation. Right?
Yeah,
you know, they got these dogs and tutus. You said what?
It is, because you got to think about it. This world is full, this is full of sin.
You said this is for what?
The U.S. is full of sin. Y'all, we know we're not supposed to be. People know we're not supposed to be, you know, the LGBT, but they still doing it. People say they don't got power, but if you do one simple thing against them, what's gonna happen? You get canceled.
Yep.
Consequences. Why should I have consequences off of words if I'm expressing myself? It don't make sense.
Uh-oh. You sounding like me. That's how I got in. So I'm going to read it to the top so you can see. Because what you said has been manifested in this book. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God, to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world. And we know who the most wicked in all the world when you see scary movies, when you see Sex in the City, the L word, queer as folk.
We got so many false prophets, so much witchcraft.
Exactly.
Literally, when we look around, we got so much golf. What is that? Witchcraft. Little do people know. They saying, oh yeah, I'm bringing all this crystals, I'm doing this, I'm talking to the dead. You're not supposed to do that.
This brother on fire.
I missed what you said. Say that again, King.
It's a whole bunch of witchcraft. It's a whole bunch of false prophets. Like, how you go on here and say we supposed to talk to the dead? We're not supposed to talk to the dead. Why is we trying to cast spells on ourselves when we already in the spell?
Oh man.
And young too, man.
Bring that up.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which is spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt.
Right. What did they do in Sodom? That's right. Man was with men.
Oh.
Yeah, sodomy. Right? You had that LGBTQ spirit plus in sodomy. It's like in Sodom and Gomorrah. They was doing the exact same thing they're doing now, but in Sodom and Gomorrah. You had men trying to be with little boys like that dude. You had women trying to be with little girls. You had nothing but wickedness going on. Our women, they was dressing like harlotry, and it was everything you said. Hey, that's Sodom and Gomorrah. Bring out the other one. Oh no, there's more than that.
Well, also our Lord was crucified, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half.
Right, and we're spiritually dead. Right, we're without wisdom. Remember as we brought out to you earlier, hey, the waters, they make you alive, and they raise you up, and they give you understanding. Right, that's the Lord give you the knowledge and wisdom, right? Right. But a lot of our people are without that. And what happens when you stop drinking water? When you stop drinking water?
Eventually you just die.
Eventually you die. Now it's a process to it. You get dehydrated and then you start seeing things that's not there. So our people are seeing things that are not there. They say, oh, I think I can be homosexual. Oh, I can commit adultery. Because they're not spiritually fed with water. That's why they're seeing things that's not there. Right? They don't have that wisdom. So they're spiritually dehydrated. Right? They don't have no understanding. So also another side effect of not drinking water for a certain amount of days, you start to get skinnier, of course. You know, your stomach get jammed up, your mind not right too good. You know, you just falling short, right? Your tongue dry, you don't really know what to speak. Now you're speaking crazy things. You're seeing things that's just not there. Your brother had a point? Okay.
In the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing
and lying, and killing, and stealing, and committing adultery. They break out, and blood touches blood.
Yeah, that's the main precept. Everything you said, that's in there. Bring out yours, King.
God, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 15.
Bring it
It
out.
reads, Woe unto him that give his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look upon their nakedness.
Yeah, you can break it down.
Right? And that's going into, don't you remember we were just saying how this world like get into like crystals and things like that, you know, on a certain level. Well, the world now, they force us to drink that wine of crystals. They put that upon us, LGBT community or whatever. You know, they put that upon us. You know, they put it in movies, cartoons, everywhere you go, you see something gay, right? Yeah. So they forcing that upon us.
Right? And the kids got no choice but to grow up on it.
Exactly.
Because when the kid born, they born with a phone, a tablet, a computer, and that's all they be on.
Right there.
They getting taught the gay BCs. Like, look at that. Homosexuality right there. Manifest. See how the Lord works?
Yeah.
It's spiritual before it's carnal.
And we don't need to explain how we know. You know when you see
He made it manifest.
working like a chicken. You know, like Chicken Little. Bring that out, King.
Isaiah.
I don't know. Did you bring out your precept?
I got another
We gotta get to the
classics.
curses. I mean, we gotta get to the commandments.
Yeah, we
Real
gotta get
quick,
to the
let's
law,
get to
yeah.
the commandments. Because we explained why we in this situation. We broke the commandments of the Lord, right? So what exactly is sin?
It's the book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 4.
Get out.
Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is a transgression of the law.
Sin is a transgression of the law. That's plain upon tables. Right? The Lord gave us certain laws, commandments. Hey, don't transgress it. That's simple. But what are some certain commandments? What are they? Where is that at? Where do we find that? How'd you know that?
Well, I won't say that I read it every day, but I read.
All right. You read with him? Y'all gotta read together. Y'all gotta get in this thing. Yeah, y'all Israelites. Right? You bring out Deuteronomy, it's like you can get out, bring out Leviticus 11 and 6. What you got?
8-6.
Before we get that, bring out Leviticus 11 and 7.
Time. Bring it out.
All right, the brother got it.
This book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven-footed,
Right.
yet he cheweth not the cud.
So you got the swan, that's pig, right? And although it be cloven-footed and divided of the hoof, it doesn't what?
Yet he cheweth not the cud.
He's not chewing of the cud. He's not properly digesting his food, right? So what's the result?
He is unclean to you.
So he's unclean to us, right? Yeah, that pig is unclean. Like that man is unclean spiritually,
Right.
you know?
That's right.
Just like shellfish.
How you know that?
Because they bottom feeders.
Have you heard about the Israelites before?
Yes.
All right. Hey, so you continue reading.
But y'all breaking it down more for me.
Okay, all praise to the Most High. You continue on with that, King.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
Right, so if God said don't eat no more pigs, what you gonna do? You gonna just get in that thing? What about you? What if it's free? What if they make it the way you like it?
I don't eat pig like that anyway, so it shouldn't be that hard to stop.
Oh, praise. What about you though? You sure? If somebody, not me, but if somebody made you some ham hocks and it smelled like spaghetti or something, would you eat it? It smell good? Okay, all praise the Most High. I don't know why it smell like that, but you understand the point. Right? Okay. Yeah.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
No.
Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
I want to ask you, what's your name, King? Jacob? Jaden? What's something in the waters that have both fins and scales? Any guesses? Educated guess. Huh? They got both fins and scales. Well, they got fins, but you don't really see one with scales. You got any guesses?
Don't turtles got
They got fins. You ever seen turtles?
They got scales too.
No, they don't really got scales. No, that's a shellback. All right. So you got certain sea animals such as you got salmon, tilapia, tunas, red snapper, orange roughy, cod, rainbow fish, perch, big mouth bass, whiting, rumity. Can't eat none of that. Why not?
I'm allergic to all seafood.
Okay, well, let's say you get a wife and she say, well, husband, can I have some fish? Is that clean?
No.
Well, it is clean. It's, as long as that's both fins and scales, right? It's clean for you, right? The scales is protected from parasites, and the fins is to make sure it moves throughout the water.
I ain't know that.
You said what?
I ain't know that.
Oh, you bringing it out. Bring it out, King.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of all any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
So what doesn't have both fins and scales? And you said one already, right? So we can build off of that. So shark doesn't. What else doesn't? Catfish.
It's a restaurant.
Shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, sea horses. What you say? Octopus, eel, the tiger shark. They don't have both fins and scales. You said what? Crabs, right? Sea turtles. You said what? The lobsters. Okay. Those are what you call bottom feeders. You understand? And you can't eat those. Your family members like shrimp, crab, or lobster? I bet they love it.
I know they like shrimp.
Yeah, our people love shrimp. But we can't eat it according to the Bible. Right? So does that sound easy enough? To not do? To not eat shrimp, crab, and lobster?
It's easy. It's just a tempting thing.
You're tempted?
That's how I feel about it. I feel like it's easy to do, but it's tempting since you see everybody else do it.
Bring out 1 Corinthians 13 and 10. You bring out your precept first.
The book of 1 Corinthians.
You're going to bring out his precept first.
I got it. I got it.
10 and 13.
I got it.
You got it.
It's the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
That's right. If you resist the devil in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, hey, that spirit of temptation is going to flee from you. Because all it is say, if the Lord told you to don't do something, and something is telling you to do it, what is that something? That something is Satan. He's going to tempt you like he did Christ. Bring that out, King, in Matthew 4th chapter, the first verse. Right? Whenever you try to do good and something's trying to pull you back, that is Satan. Right? So let's bring it out.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. And then was who the Lord calls Jesus led up in the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
He was tempted of the devil. Go ahead.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
Hey, now the Lord could very well do that, He could very well easily do that. And Satan knew that. So Satan even knows you. Satan knows what you like. He knows what you can do. He knows what you can't do. Satan knew what Christ could do. So that's why he said, hey, you're the Son of Man. Turn these stones into bread that you can eat. So how did Christ respond to that? He said, he started thinking about it. Did he go to council? Let's see what he did.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone.
A man shall not live by bread alone. Right? Go ahead.
But by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
But by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. That's deep. Right? That's a breakdown within itself. But nevertheless, if you're ever feeling tempted, hey, you gotta understand this. Bring this out.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13. There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Right.
But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above.
Right.
That
Slight, go ahead.
tempted above that ye are able. But will the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it?
Right. So the Lord, He's not going to purposely tempt you to make you fall away. He is going to put you through the fire. Right? Because it proving you, like the brother said. And you're a fine gold. However, when you grab up gold, it's not purified. It's not at its finest. Because gold comes from the earth, of course, right? Mm-hmm. And what's attached to it? Zinc, other certain materials. Dirt, dust.
Some minerals.
Exactly, certain minerals. So to purify that, you have to put it through the fire, right? To burn up those minerals, those impurities, to make you perfect, right? So whenever you're going through it, the Most High is always going to make an exit so you can get out of that thing. So, bring out Proverbs 18 and 10. Proverbs 18 and 10, real quick. We got two more commandments for y'all. Two more.
So book of Proverbs 18 and verse 10. And it reads, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it, and it's safe.
Y'all know the name of the Lord? So the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, right? He exists.
I heard that before, but I never knew the name. Only thing that I hear they call him is just God or Lord or Almighty.
Right.
I don't hear them say like a specific name.
Bring out Exodus 20 and 2. Start verse 3. Right? Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Exodus 20 and 3.
Book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right. So you do have gods, but they're like lesser gods. Right? These are gods that people actually fabricated and made up. We read Wisdom of Solomon 10th chapter, the 13th verse. So people make up gods. God is a title.
Like Zeus and Poseidon.
Exactly.
Those not supposed to be there. It's only supposed to be one true.
Exactly. So those are gods. Those are fake gods. You have the one true God, the Heavenly Father. Right? And again, his name is Yahweh. So bring that out again in Psalms 18 and 10. That's what it says. And that's a beautiful verse. That's one of my favorite verses. Psalms 18 and 10 again, King. And Psalms 89, last verse.
The book of Psalms, the 18 and verse 10.
Proverbs 18 and 10. That's what it says. It's like it. Proverbs 18 and 10. That was the same one, right? You have to call upon the name of the Lord. So when you're in trouble, what do most people do when they're in trouble? They call 911. They might call their brother, their father. But the last person they'll call, not last one they'll call, is the Heavenly Father. Bring that out.
The book of Proverbs, to the 18 and verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
So if you're righteous, you're gonna call upon the name of the Lord. What's the one? Is that it?
Psalm
83.
It's
like I did. Right? So we're going to tell you the name of the Heavenly Father in the Bible in case anybody asks you where is that at? How do you know? Check this out. 83 in the last verse.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 18.
Look it up.
That men may know that thou, whose name is Yahweh.
Is what?
Yahweh.
Can y'all say Yahweh for us? But you gotta remove your hat. That's right. So when you call upon the name of the Lord, you can't have your head covered. Right? And the name of his son is Yahweh Shai. Right? But the word ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. Right? And we say ignorantly because the letter J was recently invented during the 1600s. Right? That's why when you read the 1611, you don't see no J's. They weren't using that even then. You see an I. Exactly. I hear what you're saying.
But like,
right?
That's why I say stuff got different. Because like certain religions, they be saying the same thing, but they pronounce the name different. But I don't know. It's just hard to explain.
Yeah, their languages kind of make it all a little wonky. Yeah. But that's why, a lot of brothers up here, they speak Hebrew, right?
That's why people be like, oh yeah, I believe in this. I believe. But the whole time y'all believing in the same thing.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but like the same person. It'd be the same person, but just pronouncing it different.
Because that's what my uncle said one day. You know, he said, we really believe in the same God, it's just a language barrier. I said, no, because when you call upon the name of Allah, right, that's the God of the Ishmaelites. When the Ishmaelites think of Allah, they think of their creator, right? That's not the true name of the Heavenly Father. In fact, the word Allah is power in the Hebrew, and that's just nothing but another attribute, a title, right? So again, the Lord has a real name, you know. So again, even in their Bible, their God, you know, it goes by the name of Allah. He permits man to eat pork at their wit's end, right? If you got a gun to your face or you're starving on an island, then you can eat pork. But our forefathers, they died not to eat pork. So that just shows you the huge difference between Islam and your true culture, right? Knowing that you're an Israelite, keeping the commandments of the Heavenly Father. Right, so again, we brought out one commandment. Let's bring out two more. We got 613, but we're only gonna bring out two more for you. Numbers 15:37. Whoever got it first. The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 37.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 37. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
Speak unto the children of Israel. And it's already confirmed through precepts and through history that we're Israelites, correct? So he's speaking to us. We're the audience.
And bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments.
And tell them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments. Now, this is what you call a fringe. Some people may call it a tassel, which is a fringe, right? Now, these fringes, they can be any colors. You can clearly see. You got white, black, gray, yellow. The other day, I seen orange, I think. You can make these fringes any color. Put some spice on it, right? We already mentioned that we're the salt of the earth. So you can definitely rock these out, you know, make it look white. So let's continue reading. Look at that brother. He got some mighty fringes on. That's a blue garment. You know, those all white. All white fringes.
You can put it on any shirt too. The brother got on his Goku Dragon Ball Z shirt.
See that?
So you can put some white fringes on your own white shirt.
Make it look nice. Bring it out, King.
That bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Now, although the color of the fringe may vary and it can change to your liking, there still must be a ribbon of blue. Everybody up here, one thing we have in common, or a lot of things we have in common, but physically in our apparel, we have a ribbon of blue. So it must be a ribbon of blue. That's what our forefathers wore, right? Even our women as well. Go ahead. And we have to do it for a reason. It's going to tell us.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, and ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go in a whoring.
Right, so you look upon them, and you remember Leviticus 11:7. I can't eat pork, that's right. Oh, Leviticus 11:9. Oh, I can't eat things that doesn't have both fins and scales, that's right. I mean, we forget a lot of things. Even when it comes to our life schedule. Oh, I forgot to put gas in the tank. I forgot to grab the groceries. I forgot to do X, Y, and Z. We forget a lot of things. So the Lord knows us. So if we forget to do little things, how much more spiritual things? So that's why he told us, he bid Israel to put fringes on the border of your garments for generations. Are we serving generations? We're still repopulating the earth right now. So that means we still have to wear these because we forget. Right, we fall short, and wearing these prevent us from doing that, you know, to a certain degree. Right, but it really, you know, goes a long way. Goes more than that.
That ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God.
And to be holy is to be set apart. Right? As we mentioned before, is everybody equal? Is everybody equal, brother? Nah. So if we have to be set apart, be above everybody, what does that mean? We got to be set apart, right? In all things and in all doings. Right. We have to make sure, you know, we're holding ourselves to the standard. Right? One more. I gotta go. One more. Right? Bring out Leviticus. Bring out Exodus 20. Yep.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. And it reads, remember the Sabbath day.
What's today? Saturday, right? Today's the Sabbath day. What's the 7th day of the week when you look at your calendar? Sunday.
No, 7th day of the week is Saturday.
Sure?
Yes, because it started off with Sunday.
All right, yeah, that's right. You said it. You can just open up the calendar. You see Sunday's the first day. 7 days later is Saturday. Go ahead.
6 days, like, to keep it holy. 6 days shall thou labor.
6 days, you get all your work done. You labor, whether it be school work, damn actual work, your side gigs, you labor, you get it done in 6 days. Go ahead.
Shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day
The 7th, which is today,
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
see that? That's plain upon tables. You can't do any work on a Sabbath day. Neither can you cook. And that may sound crazy. I can't cook. What? You can go one day without cooking. It's easy, right? Sometimes brothers do it throughout the week. It's very easy not to cook, on a Saturday. All you do is just make a sandwich, make some tuna sandwich, cereal, eat some fruits. That could be the day you eat nothing but fruits and vegetables. I'm sure y'all eat meat or maybe junk food throughout the week. Eat some fruit on Saturday. That's good for your body. That's detox. That's giving your body detox. Right?
Exodus chapter 35, verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath.
You can't kindle that fire to cook. Even to make pancakes or even to use the oven. Go ahead.
And Moses spake unto the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the Lord commanded.
Hey, this is the thing that the Lord commanded. So if your mom, your father, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, your grandparents say otherwise, you say this is the thing that the Lord commanded. Right? Now, if they say anything other than that, if they say but, hey, you cut them off. Do the spirits. Oh, hold up. I'm listening to you or God. Now, if they say me or if they say something crazy, you got to mark them. You got to say, you really want me to listen to you before God? You got to look at them crazy. You got you got to chill out. What are you talking about? You're not better than the Most High. So what's your nationality? What's yours? And y'all Israelites. You said it. Brother got one last precept before y'all did.
It's the book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
Hey, we ought to obey God rather than men. That's right. What's your nationality?
Israelite.
What?
Right. Israelite.
All praise to the Most High. I got some flyers for y'all, right? All praise. We got a flyer. With that, I'm gonna pass to the next mighty dynamic speaker, right? Bye, teacher. Bye. You kind of want to teach. Don't matter. Y'all keep y'all worders. Yeah, make sure y'all keep y'all worders, man. Don't have drinking either. Throw it to the side.